Are you an early riser this morning? Hey? It's too early to be up. So silly. Good morning, you guys. This is going to be a start of my first vlog. I'm sorry I look like this, but it is Sunday morning. Very early. My baby decided it was a good idea to wake me up at 5:30, so it's about 6 now. I'm gonna get ready to go in and make a cup of coffee, but I finished the Diviner series yesterday and I wanted to start the Raven Boys. I have never read the Raven cycle before, but I've heard so many good things about it, so I figured it would be, and like, I don't know, I feel like it would be a good kind of fall read. I don't know, we're gonna see. I started it last night, and by started it I mean I got like the prologue done. So I'm on page 8, so I just got a couple of pages into it. I just wanted to see if it was something that I was going to be interested in picking up right now, and I think it is. So I would love to get maybe a couple chapters read before my other son wakes up. We have to go into the city today. We live about an hour away from our nearest city, so we have some groceries to get. I'm not going to be listening to this audiobook. Actually, you know what? I should double check and see if my library has it. I hate buying audiobooks of like books that I already have a physical copy of because I feel like it's a waste of money. But I could check and see if my library has it. If they do, then I would listen to that on the way there. If not, I'll just pick something else. So anyways, I need coffee. Let's go make a coffee. Okay, you guys, so it is the next day. I'm gonna have to get in the hang of this weekly vlogging thing. So yesterday was a little bit of a shit show. So I took my boys and we went into the city like I told you. I had planned to listen to an audiobook on the way there. I went onto my library app to see if they had the Raven Boys, and apparently my library card has been canceled. I need to renew it, I guess. So I wasn't able to use that. So I just bought a different book from Audible because, like I said, I don't like to buy books that I have physical copies of. So I bought, like, I had just finished listening to this really amazing thriller, and it is by Laura Dave, and it's called Missing Molly. It was really good. I'll talk about it in an upcoming wrap up. But so I figured I really liked that one so much I give it 5 stars, so I wanted to read something else of hers. So I picked up 800 Grapes. And let me just read you guys the synopsis, because it's turning into something that I don't think is what I thought, okay? So from an author that maybe I just assumed, and I shouldn't have assumed, that this author was just going to be writing thrillers, but this is what the summary is. So, what if your beloved fiance, he of the crinkly smile and the irresistible British accent, had kept a life-changing secret from you? And what if just a week before your dream wedding you discovered it? When these questions become realities for bride-to-be Georgia Ford, she does the only thing that seems to make sense. She runs. She hops in her car and drives through the night, from Los Angeles to Sonoma to her safe haven, to her messy and loving family and their acclaimed family winery. Georgia craves the company of those who know her best and whom she truly knows. And on the eve of harvest, Georgia knows she'll find solace and distraction in familiar rituals. But when Georgia arrives home, nothing is at all familiar. Her parents, her brothers, the family business are all unrecognizable. It seems her fiancé isn't the only one who's been keeping secrets, and, much to George's dismay, it seems likely that this harvest may be the family's last. So I read that thinking this is going to be another great thriller, and so far it is not thrilling me. I think it's going to be more of like a romance, and I don't read romance. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's got me interested, and so maybe it's not that bad of a thing, like, you know, kind of branch out a little bit from what I typically read. But I feel like I already know what's coming. I feel like I already know how the story's gonna go. And it's definitely, I really don't think it's gonna turn into a thriller. But from that synopsis, I figured it could have been a thriller. Am I crazy? But now that I'm reading it back, I'm like, I can see how maybe it's not. But anyways, so I am about, how far through that? I have 3 hours and 39 minutes left. I'm on chapter 10. And yeah, so I'm about a quarter of the way through. I don't know. It's okay so far. It's definitely not something I would have picked up normally, but it's okay. And then, so we went to the city. Okay, so anyway, so I was wanting to listen to the audio book for this as I was driving, but my phone kept connecting to, I was trying to listen to it with my earbuds, like with one earbud in, but my phone kept connecting to my Bluetooth in the truck and it wouldn't work properly, so I wasn't able to even listen to anything that was like 2 whole hours I could have been listening. So I could have like probably essentially finished that book on the drive, because I think it was a 4-hour audiobook. Anyway, so I wasn't able to listen to any of it, so I listened to it when I got home after I was like cleaning up the dishes and everything from supper. And then while I was in the city, we stopped at an indoor playground so my 4-year-old could run off some energy. Whoa! And I was able to read a little bit of The Raven Boys. I am currently on page 65. I'm about to start chapter 7. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I want to like it so bad because I've heard so many good things about it. But and this might be a controversial opinion, but I think I maybe might not like Maggie Stiefvater's writing. She just words things very strangely, and I'm not sure if that's just her as a writer, if all her writing is like this. This is my first time reading anything by her, but some things I'm like, why would you word that way? It makes it, some of her writing, you kind of stumble over it and you have to go back and reread sentences and you're like, why would she word that way? It doesn't even really make sense. So I don't know if that's just how she is or if that's particular to these stories. But I am intrigued for sure. I feel like I kind of somewhat know where the story is going once again, but I'm definitely intrigued to keep going. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this afternoon. We're going to go for a nice long walk, so maybe I can listen to more of my audiobook, and yeah, I can update you guys later. And I have a couple more other videos that I need to film today as well for my other channel and for this channel. So it's me a bit of a busy day. So I'll check back in with you guys probably later on this evening. Okay, you guys, so it is now Tuesday. I am like, oh my gosh, I really need to get the hang of this like weekly vlogging thing. But anyways, today is Tuesday and I have been listening to my audiobook. What is it called? 10,000 Grapes or something like that. What an awesome booktuber. 800 Grapes. So I've been listening to 800 Grapes. I only have an hour, 1.25 hours left. And yeah, it's definitely not a thriller for sure. It's not too bad. Right now I'd be giving it probably about a 3, and that's probably just because it's not really a genre that I would typically read. It's more of like a contemporary. I think it's gonna switch into like a romance a little bit, contemporary romance. So I'm not minding it, but it's something different for me, right? So anyway, so yeah, I've been listening to that. I don't think I've read any more of The Raven Boys since I last talked to you guys. I am on page, Page 65. I'm about to start chapter 7, so I can't remember where I was when I last updated you guys about this, but that's where I am. I don't think I read any of it yesterday, so I need to definitely read some more of it today. I'd like to get to at least page 100 today. But right now I'm going to tidy up my kitchen and I'm going to carry on listening to the audiobook. I have actually quite a bit of cleaning that I need to get done, so I'm hoping that I can finish the audiobook while I do my cleaning. So let's get to that. Okay, so it is later on in the evening. What time is it? It is 9:30, and I just finished 800 grapes. So pretty much it was exactly what I thought it was going to be right from the beginning. I guessed the plot. I guessed what was going to end up happening pretty much right off the bat. It was okay. I'd give it probably a 2.5. It follows a woman, I read you guys the synopsis, but it follows a woman who basically finds out a huge secret about her fiance, and she kind of flees home and she finds out that everything, her whole family is like falling apart basically, and nobody for some reason has bothered to tell her anything that's going on. Which is really odd because it sounds like they make it seem like they're a really close family. Well, they are a really close family, so I don't understand why nobody in her life would be letting her know that these major, like extreme things are going on with her family that she should know about and that she should probably have some sort of say in. So that's obviously quite upsetting to her. So she's like finding out basically nothing in her whole life with any of the people that she loves is what it's making itself out to be. So there's relationship struggles and she is trying to find out who she is. She's trying to make her own decisions about what she wants for her future, and it was just very, very predictable. It was just meh. I would give it probably about a 2.5. I would say a 2 if I had to round. So, but yeah, definitely not, like, considering this author needs to stick to thrillers, because I gave her Thriller a 5 out of 5. It was so good. And this, yeah, it was just your everyday run-of-the-mill contemporary. So I am now going to spend some time with my physical read, which is the Raven Boys, and I'm gonna hope to get to at least page 100. We'll see. My baby's been waking up at 5:30 in the morning lately, so I don't want to stay up too late. And I'm not that fast of a reader, so we'll see how far I get in this. And if I'm not too tired, then I'll come back and give you a little update before I go to bed. But if I'm like falling asleep, then I'll just talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, it is Wednesday morning. It's about 11 o'clock. So last night I got to page like 150. So that was pretty good. And I'm starting to actually like it now. So like for the first little while, I was thinking it was like a little bit dry, like all this talk about the ley line and stuff like that. It was just kind of boring to me, and that it seemed to be pretty heavy on that the first little bit. So I wasn't so sure about it, but now I'm starting to get to know the characters a little bit better, and I'm interested in as to where the story is going to go. So I'm actually starting to really like it. I just put Dawson down for a nap, and Holden and I are going to go outside. He's going to play in his sandbox, and I'm going to read for a bit. So I have to work this afternoon, so hopefully I can get through a bit more before I head to work. But I'm actually like, I just want to read now. I just want to see what's going on in this story. I don't want to put it down at this point, so that's awesome. So it is much later. It is 9 o'clock and I went to work today and I got to read, as you guys saw earlier. So I did not start a new audiobook yet. I'm gonna have to pick one up. But I'm on page 222 of the Raven Boys, so I'm over the halfway point and I am liking it. I'm finding, like, obviously some of the characters I'm able to connect with a lot more. I really wish that there was more of Blue in it. I mean, I guess the novel is called The Raven Boys, so it makes sense probably that it's more about the Raven Boys, but I guess I just assumed that it was going to be more about Blue, and I feel like I really like her and I want more of her. So hopefully that will come. But I'm going to go and read in bed. I've got my sleepy time tea in my cup. It says tired as a mother. So I've got my sleepy time tea. I've got my book. I'm going to go and get cozy in my bed and hopefully can get through a good majority of this so that I can finish it tomorrow. That's the hope. And then I will have finished 2 books this week, which for me is fantastic because I'm coming off of the hugest reading slump since Dawson was born back in last November. I barely read at all, so just getting back into it, finishing 2 books in a week is pretty fantastic. And if I pick up another like thriller audiobook, I can probably get that done, I'm assuming, this week also. That would be 3 books and that would be crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna go and read now. Am I okay? I look not okay. Anyways, it is Thursday, 2:17 in the afternoon. I just took Holden, well, not just took. He's been at preschool for about an hour and I have Dawson having a nap. So I was able to get a little bit of reading in and I finished The Raven Boys. So my thoughts on The Raven Boys. I really liked it. I am going to give it a 4.5, maybe a 4, only because I think this book was rushed. I think it should have been at least 100 pages longer. I feel like the plot points were rushed in it, and I feel like it could have been explained better. Some of the plot points could have been arrived at a little bit better. Especially things like, I mean, in the beginning, Blue was so adamant about not liking any Raven Boys, and it just, she made her case that she would never hang out with a Raven Boy, and it didn't take very much to change her mind. It just seemed like that happened really, really quickly with not a lot of explanation or convincing. Oh no, he's waking up. I'll be right back. Okay, I was able to get him back to sleep. So yeah, basically to sum it up, I think that the book should have been a little bit longer, at least 100 pages longer. I think that there's so many good ideas in here. I just think that they could have been fleshed out a little bit more. But that being said, I did really like it. I'm really excited to move on to the next book. Parts of it, like I love the magic in it, obviously. It's just such a good idea and it's something unique and different. I love the relationships between the characters, and there was, you know, parts of the book that were heartbreaking. You know, when we found out more about Adam's living situation, like that just broke my heart. And just really starting to fall in love with these characters, and as different as they are, they're also interesting and they all offer, you know, such a unique perspective to the book. So I really did like it a lot. And I'm going to be starting the second one tonight for sure. But as of right now, I need to tidy up my house real quick. I have another hour before I have to go and get Holden. I would like to get started on some editing for my other channel. I have a video that I need to edit today and tonight, so hopefully I will get some time to get some reading done tonight. I would at least like to start on, I think the second one is Blue Lily, Lily Blue. I think that's the second one. So I would definitely like to start with that one. Even if I just get a chapter in today before I go to bed or whatever, I want to definitely start it. So anyways, I will check back in with you guys. I don't know, whenever you see me. Hi guys, I skipped a day vlogging. It is now Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon, and yesterday I listened to an entire book on Audible. So the book that I read was, first of all, so good, 5 out of 5. Oh my goodness. Okay. It was called It's starting to play. Okay, so it is called Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. I'm going to read you guys the synopsis. It says, people don't just disappear without a trace. Shelby Tebow is the first to go missing. Not long after, Meredith Dickey and her 6-year-old daughter Delilah vanished just blocks away from where Shelby was last seen, striking fear into their once peaceful community. Are these incidents connected? After an elusive search that yields more questions than answers, the case eventually goes cold. Now, 11 years later, Delilah shockingly returns. Everyone wants to know what happened to her, but no one is prepared for what they will find. Okay, so first of all, in one of the first chapters, I think it was probably the second chapter, the perspective is from Delilah as she's being held captive, and it is, first of all, terrifying. Second of all, heartbreaking. Third of all, like, you are just filled with so much suspense when reading this chapter. Like, this is a thriller that I highly recommend. I'm going to be doing a video coming up soon about thrillers that I recommend for the Halloween season, and this one's definitely going to be on it. It was just fast-paced. It had twists and turns, and at one point, I kind of figured out what was going on and what was going to happen, and I was partially right, but it twisted even more so after that, there was a twist that I didn't see coming at the end. So it was really, really, really good. I highly recommend it. I read it all in one day. I listened to it on an audiobook, of course. So yeah, I really, really highly recommend it. So I'm so happy because I read 3 books this week, which is crazy for me. 2 were audiobooks, 1 physical read. I did start the next book in the Raven cycle. I'm only like a chapter in. I did have a headache yesterday, so I wasn't really doing very much physical reading. So yeah, but today I want to get a little bit more into that. And I also am going to be starting another book on audiobook. Why can't I talk? And this one is going to be, I think, perfect for the Halloween season. I have just been thinking lately that I really want something like witchy, you know, for the Halloween season. And this, I think, definitely is not going to disappoint. I was so excited to find this one. It's called Betwixt, and it's the first in a series, and it's by Dorinda Jones. Divorced, desperate, and destitute, former restaurateur Defiance Dane finds out that she has been bequeathed a house by a complete stranger. She is surprised, to say the least, and her curiosity gets the better of her. She leaves her beloved Phoenix and heads to one of the most infamous towns in America, Salem, Massachusetts. She's only there to find out why a woman she's never met would leave her house, a veritable castle that has seen better days. The lawyer assigned to the case practically begs her to take it off her hands, mostly because she's scared of it, the inanimate structure that, as far as Daphne can tell, has never hurt a fly. Though it does come with some baggage, a pesky neighbor who wants her gone, a scruffy cat who's a bit of a jerk, and a handyman bathed in ink who could moonlight as a supermodel for GQ. She decides to give it 3 days, and not because of the model. She feels at home in Salem, safe. But even that comes to a screeching halt when people begin knocking on her door day and night, begging her to help them locate their lost objects. Come to find out, they think she's a witch. And after a few mysterious mishaps, Daphne is beginning to wonder if they're right. So I think this one's gonna be so super fun, perfect for the Halloween feel. So I'm gonna be starting that here in a couple of minutes, but I wanted just to do a quick check-in with you guys. So that is, I think, where I'm going to leave this week's vlog. I'm sorry if it was a bit boring. Like, I definitely need to get into vlogging, weekly vlogging. I want to make this a weekly thing because I think it definitely helped me this week to read more. But I definitely need to remember to like show you guys more throughout the day. So hopefully it wasn't too boring and hopefully you guys did enjoy it. And I'm going to be picking back up for next week. I'll be starting tomorrow. So I'll probably have an update on this Betwixt book, and I will hopefully have read some more of, what is the next book in the Raven cycle called? Why can't I remember? I always think it's Blue Lily Lily Blue, but that's the third one. The Raven King is the fourth one. I don't remember what the second one's called. I don't remember. But anyways, it's the second book in the Raven cycle. So hopefully I'll have more of an update on that one for you guys as well for tomorrow. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful week and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.